and we are here with Jami DeBernard, trainer to the stars, right? The stars, I know, right? Me. The stars of the IFBB, that's for sure. So you've had a pretty killer year so far, right? So do you keep track of your record? Like, what's your record with your athletes right now?
I actually don't keep track of my record.
I don't either.
I know, it's funny because I do know, like, I see some of the coaches say, oh, X amount of pro wins and this and that. I do think I counted recently. It was somewhere around close to 10, I think, pro wins this year.
That's not a bad track record.
Yeah.
So I feel like really in the last maybe 3-4 years is when you really started to come up as like one of the top coaches as far as these top Olympia athletes and things like that. What do you think that is attributed to? What do you think? Why do you think you've been getting better as a coach?
I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with attention to detail and showing up. And you and I have talked about this a lot. And you know, being present is very different than watching shows from a distance.
Yes.
So I'm at a show every single weekend. I'm able to see what the judges are picking. I'm able to have conversations with the judges while they're giving feedback and be able to actually pick their brains. Because you know, one of the things that I really stress to people is there's different ways or certain words that can mean different things. For example, if a judge says, I want to see you fuller, or if I want to see you, let's say tighter is an easy one. So if they want to say tighter, do they want you leaner? Do they want you fuller?
Mm-hmm. What
filling
does tighter mean?
Filling out and then getting leaner are two opposite things.
Correct.
So making sure to really understand not just the words that they're saying, but the meaning behind it and what they're seeing. So I think that, in bikini specifically, it's an art as much as it is a science, and knowing how to bring in that physique right on point with what the judges want currently is the key.
Yeah. Well, I think it also goes back to what we were talking about. It's different per athlete as well.
Absolutely.
Because just because somebody looks better tighter towards the criteria doesn't mean that the next girl is going to look better tighter towards that criteria. Correct. She may look a little bit better when she's fuller, and these terms and these things that unless you're in this industry, it's a whole different language.
Absolutely.
So
and posing. I mean, this is your world of posing.
Yep.
And over and over. And I know you deal with this all the time. People go, oh well, I like that so and so was doing this.
Yes.
Well, that doesn't necessarily translate to your physique and how you're going to look on stage. So if you go up and just copy your favorite athlete, that doesn't mean you're going to get the best result. Whereas maybe doing something a little bit different. So I think having a coach that knows how to make those adjustments,
right,
so that you're presenting your best.
That, and like you just said a great word, copying. Like, I think once you get to a certain level as a coach, you can't copy anybody anymore.
Right.
You got to figure it out yourself. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Right.
And it just is what it is. You once you get to that top tier, there's nobody else there that you can look around and take tips from. You've got to figure it out on your own.
Right.
So, and sometimes that takes failing in order to do it as well.
Yeah.
I would say having a good student mentality is probably a big deal. One of the things that you say all the time is we need to go talk to the judges and see what they think, because they're the ones that are rewarding you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So even if we think something's right, like, that could be completely off from what the judges think, right?
Yeah, and I also think there's a huge psychological component.
Yeah.
We see people all the time, if stress levels shoot through the roof, cortisol levels go, we can end up, having issues with water retention, things like that, or even with compliance to the program. Because, to me, what's really important is that I want my athletes to be able to be honest with me. Not that I'm not going to be tough on them or give them tough love if it's something that they need to get on point with. And at the same time, being able to work with them and meet them where they're at, because everybody's going to have an off day. There's no such thing as perfect. So as a coach, something that I've seen before is if clients are afraid to be honest, and then the coach is making adjustments based on what they think is happening versus what they actually did,
right,
it's very hard to control the outcome.
Yep.
So my goal is always to make sure that we have a relationship such that we can have that open, honest conversation. If something goes awry, then we can figure out, okay, how do we course correct? How do we fix it? Versus, I'm guessing. I don't know what they're doing. I know it's probably not what I told them to do.
Right.
How do I fix that? So,
Yeah.
And I tell my athletes, I'm going to put in as much as you put in. If you communicate with me, if you give me, and that doesn't mean being perfect, because again, that doesn't exist.
Yes.
But if you're going to give me that perfect, level of communication, and be open with me so that I can help you, whether you're going through something difficult at home or whatever that situation situation is. That way, we can go, okay, how can we maybe take some stress off? Maybe we need to do a deload week, because you've got too many other stressors going on and it's just causing too much stress on the body, so if we don't know what's going on, then we can't help.
Can't adjust for it. Right. Which goes into CCTS this year.
Yes, I can't wait.
So that's actually kind of along the lines of what you're going to be talking about. You're going to be talking about a little bit of expectations, things like that, that you have clear expectations with coach and client, and how to make sure that you have a good relationship and all of that kind of stuff. So we're really looking forward to seeing that topic come to fruition, because I think that's a big thing that clients do screw up.
Yeah.
They just don't know what to expect. They don't know how to communicate. They don't know when to communicate. They don't know any of those things, right? Or they have a different idea in their mind, and their coach has a different idea in their mind. So then they miss each other.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So this is your 5th year coming to CCTS.
Yes.
So it's crazy how fast time goes by.
I know. When we were calculating this, I'm like, wait a minute.
It's 5
years.
This is your 5th one,
wow.
Right?
Yes.
So why is it that you come back every year? Why?
Oh my gosh. Like, it actually makes me emotional, honestly, to even think about it, because it's really, truly something that's so special. And until you've actually been there and experienced it, now I'm going to be a big baby. Until you've been there and seen like the vulnerability that people come in with, and like how people really put themselves out there, how people really get behind each other and support each other. I mean, you've created like a really safe space where people can come, like whether they've never competed before and it's a dream of theirs, or they're pros or Olympians, everybody comes away with something super special. And like you said the other day, like, we're gonna laugh, we're gonna cry. I mean, it's the range of emotions, and it's really special. And like every year, when you bring in different people to come in and talk and different subjects, things like that, there's also never a forum that I've seen, never a forum that I've seen where people are so willing to ask questions. And again, that's that safe space. If you have that safe space where you feel like you can speak up and nobody's going to go, oh, that was a dumb question. Right. So it's this amazing forum where people can be so open about any and everything that, that you can think of under the sun. And it's all females. I think that also creates that safe space, is that, we can relate, whether it's about being a mom, or it's about juggling your career, or it's about, how to put your best up on the stage. Like, we cover everything. So,
and there is nothing else like that out there in the industry.
Not at all.
There's just not, and it's I like hearing that from other people, because I try to tell people, I'm like, it's one of those things where I can't explain it.
Right.
Like, you just have to be there. And I know that sounds cliche, and like, I'm the one that created the event, so of course I'm going to say that. You know what I mean?
But it's true. I mean? It's true.
But the fact that you do come back every year, and you get something new out of it every year as well. You create bonds not only with the girls in there, but also the coaches that come with you. And things
Absolutely.
Like that too. So it's just it's special.
Yeah.
It's special. So what are you looking forward to the most for this coming year?
For this coming year, for CTS this year.
Well, for CCTS this year. That was a big question.
Oh, well, that's a loaded question.
Yes.
Gosh, I'm just excited to just, the same as every time, just kind of go in with a really open mind and open heart, get to know some new people, get to see some people that I've gotten to see every year. There's definitely such an incredible bond between all of us that have been there, and like every time I bump into somebody, at a show, there's like lots of hugs and all that kind of thing. So I mean, that's I think what I look forward to is the connection, the most, for you and I, for with the other speakers, with all the participants. Like, I get as much as any of the participants. Even though I'm there to present and speak and help people out, I walk away with so much, and a heart full, and just a different level of happiness. Like, we're, it's a very busy weekend. We're doing a ton, so we're exhausted by the end, but it's like this like blissful exhaustion.
It is. It's a rejuvenating exhaustion.
It's like going on a really amazing vacation where you're like, oh my God, I'm so tired, but I would do it again a million times.
Yes, absolutely. And it just sets you up for the rest of the year. It really pushes you forward and aligns your goals, and just it kicks the year off in a really good place.
It does.
So we look forward to having you back again this year, and who knows, maybe you'll have an Olympia win under your belt by then as a coach. We'll see. Maybe, cross your fingers.
You said it first.
I know, right? I said it. You didn't jinx yourself. I said it. So we're gonna head out tonight. We're here in Nashville. The Nashville Fitshow is going on this weekend.
Yes.
So we're gonna go and get the girls all checked in and ready to go this weekend, an all-female show, which you know, Whitney came to my event several times over the last few years, and actually she and I did our very first show together here in Knoxville in 2008.
Yes.
So, you know, it's a lot, it comes full circle at some point, right?
I love it.
If you're not already, get on our pre-registration list for ticket sales. They open up on the 29th. Right now you can get into our Facebook group when we're doing a lot of exclusive content coming out starting next week, so that you can get a better idea and a feel for what this is about if you've never been there. If you've been there, then you know, and you're going to come back. So
yes. Yes.
And thank you for taking a few minutes, because I know these weekends are always super busy, and we can't wait to have you back again.
Yes, I can't wait to be there. Come and see us.
Yes. Thank you guys.